Hello everyone! In this recording, I am thrilled to unveil and walk you through the latest evolution of our product, Tenable Patch Management 10.0. This isn't just another minor version update, it is a significant transformation. Effective January 22, 2026, we have officially moved to a single SKU model and introduced a completely redesigned user interface. We have retired the old Express versus Enterprise labels to provide one single, powerful product experience that delivers on the promise of autonomous patching for everyone. This session is an evergreen resource to show you exactly how version 10 operates. We have redesigned the experience from the ground up to be cleaner, faster, and more intuitive for the people who live in this tool every single day. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ahmad Maroof, and I am the Principal Product Manager for Tenable Patch Management and Ecosystem here at Tenable. I've been deeply involved in listening to your needs so that we can shape this product that works for you so that you can fall in love with it, and I am genuinely excited today to show off what we have built for you. Here's our roadmap for today's session. We are going to cover a lot of ground. We'll start with the why, the philosophy behind this new design and our move to a unified SKU. Then we'll take a tour of your new home, a cleaner and faster homepage designed for action. Then I'll show you our new 6-step onboarding guide that replaces hours of manual setup. After that, I'll walk through the new what, when, and how wizard for building powerful patching strategies. Next, we'll look at critical tools like the new emergency kit and quick actions widgets. We'll also look at the updated single pane monitoring and deployment dashboards. I will then show you exactly where all your granular power features have moved to keep your main workspace clean and focused. Next, we'll discuss new additions of role-based access control features. And finally, we'll discuss what this business shift means for your specific environment and licensing. So, the first question you might ask, why did we make such a significant change? The simple answer is, it's all driven by you. Our customers, partners, and prospects told us time and time again over the last couple of years, this is a great product. It's incredibly powerful. You let us do amazing things, but it's just way too hard to get started. You told us that there was just too much friction just to set up simple patching. In the past, you felt forced to choose. You either picked our TPM Express version for the promise of ease of use, but hit a wall whenever you needed granular control. Or you picked the TPM Enterprise version for full power, but you felt quickly overwhelmed by the UI complexity in the Enterprise version. So, we wanted to eliminate that trade-off. We set out with two primary missions. First, we wanted to simplify the experience. We wanted to make strategies and objects easier to create and critical data easier to find. Secondly, we wanted to focus on the administrator. We took a step back and looked at who is actually in the tool every day. Who are our day-to-day users? We then realized that the old homepage was filled with ROI metrics for executives, but it didn't really help you, the administrators, do your job more efficiently and effortlessly. So, we revamped everything to focus on day-to-day tasks. We wanted to give you actionable insights and drill down capabilities at a moment's notice. We have hidden the complexity where it is not needed, and surface the actions that matter most. All right, enough slides. Now let's get right into the product itself for the demo. So welcome to TPM 10.0. This is your new homepage, and immediately you'll notice it's a significant departure from previous versions. Again, this is designed for you, the administrator. We start right here with insights. Instead of digging through menus, you will see that you get an immediate overview of your environment. Total devices, total products, total patches installed, etc. Crucially, we have highlighted your blind spots right at the top. Products not covered, offline devices, pending approval requests. They are staring you in the face so nothing slips through the cracks. We have also brought overrides front and center. If you have set exceptions or blocked specific patches in the past, you don't have to go digging to find them. They are listed right here on the homepage. But here's the best part. Everything is interactive. Almost every number you see here is a drill down. For example, let's look at blocked patches. If I click on this number 1 or 2 right here under user, right? The system takes me directly to that specific blocked patch. Right here in this case you can see gzip or some other patch that we have blocked before. If I click on the blocked patches under system, I see all 13 patches currently restricted by our security logic. It's tailored exactly to the metric you clicked. Now look at these numbers in the box. These are your delta numbers. They show the exact change over time. So if I go up here to the date settings, and let's say I choose last 24 hours, and I switch to it, and let's say I might have to refresh, and see the numbers change automatically, right? I can see that exactly how many new patches were installed, in this case 2 patches, or I can see that 1 new product was discovered in my environment within the last day. This gives you the real-time momentum data you've been asking for. You also would notice that we have neatly added the Tenable specific dashboard and metrics is right here, the CVE metrics, the VPRs, the Tenable CVE coverages, etc., right here on the homepage. There will be a separate Tenable dashboards integrations right here. We'll look at it later. But your classic patch metrics, like statuses or compliance scores or risk scores, they're all still here. But again, they are now fully actionable. So going back to the overview, if I clicked the installed patches, I get a flyout showing exactly which patches were applied and which systems they applied to, and which systems they actually impacted. This kind of train of thought navigation means you never have to guess where the data is hidden. All right, so that's your homepage. Now, let's say you are new to the platform, or you're training a new team member, or if you're just needing a refresher, or best yet, if you are like me, who is not at all enthused about having to read tens of pages of user guide or documentation, for folks like us, we have introduced a brand new Get Started onboarding guide. So let's click on it. This is a simple 6-step wizard that replaces the old complex setup and saves you hours of manual effort or professional services engagement, which you kind of used to have to do currently. It walks you through everything from scratch. So step one would be integrating with Tenable, right? You configure and link your Tenable credentials and access settings right here. Step two is add devices. So bringing your endpoints into the system by installing clients on the devices you want to patch. So if I click right here, you'll see I can go directly to the client installer page, and I can see all the clients that I can install, and I download them and I install them. Simple. Step three would be you verify your devices. So running automated checks to ensure connectivity and successful handshakes. Verify that your device is reporting back to the server by going to the devices dashboard. So if I click on right here, it will take me to the devices dashboard, and I can see I got 2 total devices because I just had 2 devices added for this demo purposes. Now step 4. Step 4 is manage business units. Business units allow you to logically group and manage devices in a hierarchical structure. So if I click on business units right here, you'll see the business units pane. Here you create your target groups, or you can use the default business units that have already been set up. Your new devices will automatically get added to the all client business unit, right? So I can create, let's say, a new business unit. I can either click here for the child business unit, or I can just create a net new business unit right here. And there's many options in which you use different settings for creating your business unit, like business unit scopes, using different filters and queries, or rollouts, or maintenance windows, and what have you. I'm going to cross it out because I'm not creating a new business unit right now. I was just going to show you all the different built-in business units we have. So let's say if I expand into the existing business units by default, you will see that we have added a whole bunch of new business units, including some of those built-in pilot, which I will show you later more in detail. All right, so you create your business unit, and then you move on to the next step. The next step is very important. Here you create and run a patching strategy. You build your first workflow so that you can start deploying patches to your devices. So we go to the strategies, and we can create a new strategy. Creating a new strategy allows you to define what to patch, when to patch, and how to patch a software. I'll talk more in depth on this step later. All right, so you have created your first patching strategy, and you have run it, you've scheduled it, and now the last step, which is deployment dashboards. Basically, you're monitoring your success at this point. Here you view the patch deployment you just set up, or you can manage your already existing, in progress, upcoming patch deployments. And this is where you click on the deployment dashboard, and you see those scheduled, in progress, and upcoming patch deployments. So overall, this wizard alone covers almost all common customer use cases, getting you up and running in minutes, which used to take hours, or probably sometimes, if you're stuck, days, right? Or professional services engagement. Now you can just get up and running in minutes. After you complete the onboarding process, you should be able to see your Tenable dashboards, such as Tenable Vulnerability Overview. So if I click on right here, you'll be able to navigate to your Tenable Vulnerability Overview, or you can go into the CVE coverages, right? And these all give you this closed loop, risk-based patching experience seamlessly. So going back to strategies, right? Let's look at how we have reimagined them, right? So we have moved from an overwhelming single page list of settings to a guided what, when, and how wizard. So let's look at a new strategy creation. And you'll see there's a walkthrough right here. So you can always enable and go through each of these guided steps to get your first strategy up and running. I'm going to close it out for now because I'm going to talk through them. So first you get the overview page. You just give it a name, right? I'll call it a demo. And you can choose to enable that right away, or you can enable it later. Then the first step, which is the what to patch step. Here you select your products. You can include all, or you can pick and choose by browsing on this button. So let's say I include all. And there I can then choose to either select all platforms, or I can select a sum of them, pick and choose. So let's say I just choose Windows, all products for Windows platform. Notice one thing, that you can now apply patch filters immediately, right? So there are some patch filters you can add. You can either add an operator, or you can add a patch operating condition. So one thing you can do, let's say, you're targeting only critical patches or those with a known exploit. For example, I can patch any vulnerabilities with a Tenable vulnerability priority score, or VPR, of 8 or higher. So let's do that. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find Tenable VPR, and I'm going to say more than or equal 8. And right away, you will see that I have selected those risk-based patching filtering. A new preview feature even displays exactly which patches are affected before you go live. All right, so next step is the when to patch step. Here you set your schedule, weekly, daily, or as soon as possible. So if you can see, here's all kinds of different schedules available: daily, weekly, or even ASAP, right? And you can even choose multiple schedules if you want, right? Finally, we are at the how to patch step. You will notice one thing, that we have renamed deployment waves to deployment rings to match the industry standard. Now, this is where the real power comes in. Scrolling down, you can see that we have these two options: add deployment ring and add transition. Transitions are a key and powerful feature. You can select a delay transition, which is simply a time period. Let's remove that. Or you can add an approval transition, which basically requires you to sign off before moving to the next ring. And the third transition that you can add is success transition. Success gate transition allows you to set a certain amount of success rate with no more than a percentage of failures before proceeding to the next deployment ring. We'll talk more about this just in a second. So let's see how these work in concert using a best practice scenario for a sample phased rollout strategy that I had set up ahead of time for this demo. So let's close this one out, and I'm gonna go select this pre-built strategy that I just created for you. Right? Obviously, we got the overview page. We give it a name, enable it, and then we go to the what to patch, what stage. And here you'll see that I have selected a few products, and I have chose my risk-based filtering. And then I go to the when to patch step, where I just set it up for weekly patching schedule. And then now we're at the last step, how to patch. And I'll spend a little bit more time here. So you can see that I have a pilot, right? I have added a business unit using a new built-in option in TPM 10.0 called 1% off workstation. This is perfect for a pilot because I don't have to manually define it. The system captures 1% of the environment automatically. You can still create custom pilot groups, but we have provided these built-in options for ease of use. Just a point to note here, if you select 1% off workstations, it excludes servers. Whereas if you selected one of our other built-in pilots, like let's say 1% of devices, it includes everything. Let's show what are some of the other built-in pilot groups we have. So I will go in, let's say, browse. And if I can expand right here, you will see we have 1% of all devices, 5%, 10% of all devices. We have 1%, 5%, or 10% of workstations, and etc. So those are the new built-in pilots that we have added for your ease of use. The point here is whether you decide to choose either the built-in pilot groups or your custom pilot groups, you have full control over the percentage and scope. All right, you will also notice on the side pane that now it gives you a pretty visual to the right as you progress through your phase rollout settings or deployment rings. It shows up right here. You can drag and drop, you can delete, you can move around, etc. So it's a neat thing. And obviously you can always turn on the walkthrough and you can go step by step through the walkthrough right away. All right, let's go back to the deployment ring setup. So I got this pilot, and pilot is done. Now, next I wanted to add a delay transition of 3 days. After that wait period, I need to validate feedback from pilot users to ensure there were no issues. So I simply choose the approval role, right here on the validate feedback ring. So I just chose the approval role. Here I chose super admin roles as approvers and added here. I can then set the rules, similar to creating approval chains in the past, but now it's done in real time within this strategy builder workflow. So I can specify if I need unanimous approval or just 1 or 2 approvals and configure reminders and set frequency for those reminders to be sent out to the approvers. All right, so once the 3-day wait concludes and the approvers sign off, we move to the next deployment ring. Let's call it pre-production. Here, the system targets 10% of workstations. This larger test set allows for a gradual rollout, ensuring any potential issues are caught before a full deployment. As that rolls out, I will add a success transition, right? I can set thresholds, for example, requiring 80% successful deployment with less than 5% failure rate. If that threshold is breached, I can choose an action. So for example, I can say I want to abort the deployment entirely, or I want to continue while logging the failure and sending a notification, or I want to remove the failing patch from the next ring while allowing others to proceed. The most common option, though, will likely be rollback and continue. So this rolls back devices that receive the bad patch and removes it from the next step, but allows all other patches to proceed. Finally, the process moves to the production ring. But before I get to that, I want to show you that as I chose that failure action, I also chose to send some failure notification. So I chose the roles which I will send the notifications to. I put a notification message for the email to send out to those notified. All right, so now we are at the last deployment ring, which is the production ring. Everything went on fine in the previous steps, and finally the process moves to the production ring. Now it targets all devices, and it's a nice neat thing. You can actually see in each of these steps how many devices there are targeting. So if I click on right here, I will see it targeted all of my 2 demo devices that I have set up for this demo. All right, now in the previous versions of TPM, these capabilities did exist. However, they often required complex workflows, hopping between different screens, and the configurations were just too hard to find in the UI. Now, this is built right into a single strategy builder workflow. And it has walkthroughs, it has side panels for viewing, and it makes it really easy. So you can easily define these rules within your strategy, giving you precise control over who receives updates and how they move through the process. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to the home page to show you a few other things. And let's close out this get started side pane. All right, so another new addition to our home page is quick actions widget. We took the most common tasks and built them right in. So instead of hunting for menus, everything is intuitive and accessible. So for example, if I want to create a new business unit, it's right here. If I want to create a net new strategy, it's also right here. And it gives you the walkthrough as well. Let's say I want to grab the client installer. I click on the download and it right away takes me to the client installers, and I can grab them. I can even jump straight to monitoring deployments via the new dashboard, which we'll cover in a minute. Let's look at another critical update: crisis control and emergency kit, right? So we know patching isn't always set it and forget it. Sometimes you need to react instantly. And that's why we built the emergency kit right on the homepage. All the main features you used to dig for in Flex controls are now surfaced here, putting them right at your fingertips. So let's go through some of them. Let's take global pause. If your network team reports a bandwidth crisis, you don't want to be navigating 3 menus deep, right? Here you click once that I want to pause globally, you confirm, and right away your patches stops globally. In 10.0, as you notice on the top, we have also added a global banner. As soon as you pause the system, this banner appears for everyone. Any other admin logged into the console will see exactly who paused the system, why, and for how long. It keeps everyone on the same page, so if you want to question why this is paused, you know exactly who to talk to. Usually if you're pausing, there's a reason. It might be bandwidth, but often, most likely, a specific patch is causing these issues, right? Let's say Notepad is causing blue screens. Naturally, after a global pause, the next step is to stop that patch from spreading. For that, we now have a new block a patch wizard right here. So in the old system, you had to navigate through Flex controls to accomplish this. Now, we have put it right in the title bar. When I click block a patch, the wizard guides me through the process, and I select the problem patch. For example, in this case, it's Notepad, and I click next. I give a mandatory reason. So let's type in closed blue screens. All right, and then here's a really nice part. What if deployments have already started? That's likely why we paused in the first place. Instead of going elsewhere to create a separate rollback object, this wizard asks if I want to roll back right here. So I just say yes, I want to create a rollback for this patch. I browse and choose the right rollback version. I select confirm. I select the business unit. Let's say I want to roll back for all devices, let's say. And I click next. And right away, just like that, I have blocked a patch and rolled it back for anyone who already received it, all in one smooth workflow. We really wanted to make this clear and keep you from hopping between multiple screens. Another thing you would notice that I can resume patching from here, or I can keep it paused and resume it later from the banner on the home page. All right. So let's say you are ready now to get moving again. So all you do is you can click resume patching, you confirm the prompt, and the system logs who resumed it and when. It makes handling incidents much simpler. So let's dismiss that. All right, what else there in the emergency kit? You can also use this menu to simply block a patch, like we did before. You can roll back a patch, and you can also create exceptions. And you can do all of these without needing a full global pause. These capabilities existed before, but as I said now, they are surfaced right on the homepage in this release, and that puts that control at your fingertips. All right, now let's move on to another feature in this new release that so many of you have asked. You have asked to give you a single pane of glass so that you can look at what's going on in your environment and take action. So the good news is, with the new deployment dashboard, you can track all of your deployments. You can access it through either the monitor deployments quick action right here, if I click there, or you can click on the deployments menu on the left. So let's click it. Now, this gives you a clear view of all the deployments that are currently in flight, right? Meaning any patches that have already been completed, right? Or currently in progress, or that are upcoming scheduled. If I have patches queued for the future, as you see that they appear here as scheduled patches, also right here, right? And the metrics that we provided here are not just static numbers. As you can guess, they're drill downs. You can click on almost any metric to see exactly what has been deployed rather than just a count. Let's look at an example. Let's pick from one of my completed patches. Let's click on right here. So you will see that I can see and reveal which specific patches were installed and drill down further to see the associated cycle. So let's click on the cycle, and you can click on further details, and you can keep drilling down. And now you see more information about that cycle and which devices it is impacting. The beauty here is that you don't have to jump between multiple tabs. You can continue to drill through and see everything in one flow. You as a user now have not lost any control. You can still stop, start, pause, skip ahead, or bypass approvals right from this view, right? You can see that mine here is grayed out because I chose a completed patch. But if you were to imagine a in-flight or upcoming scheduled patch, you will see all of these are clickable, and then you can pause, start, stop, skip ahead, etc. So All of these options apply for both the in-progress ones, the scheduled ones, and the completed patch deployments. I can see if a patch is included in 2 different active cycles, click on them, manage them instantly, and it eliminates that feeling of, okay, where do I go find that setting, right? Going back to my example right here, I wanted to show you another feature. So something that you have asked is that better targeting visibility. So let's say you might say, yes, great, Notepad is being pushed out, but who is getting it? Now you can see exactly which systems are targeted for that upcoming patch. So here you can see that I have this right here, where I have the desktop, the Windows system is getting this Notepad, right? That's the goal of this dashboard. You want to simplify. It allows you to follow a train of thought all the way through the process without having to hop around the interface to get things done. All right. One last thing I want to highlight, the depth of these drill downs. Beyond just general metrics, I can click into a specific device, like let's say I click on this device, and I can see their per device patch status. I can even look at specific products on that machine. This means if I need to troubleshoot, I can follow the data all the way down to the source, tracking everything from the high-level schedule right down to the individual endpoint. All right. Now, you might be asking, I am a power user, or I have complex use cases. Where did all my granular settings and configurations go? While it's true that we have moved common tasks and settings front and center on the homepage, all your granular high power configurations are waiting for you in the new Advanced Settings Hub. This is like our Power Hub. If you need the intent schema, user interaction settings, risk assessment settings, rollout processes, customized products, maintenance windows, or flex controls, like things like blocks listing, exceptions, rollback, requests, posits, etc. This is where they all live now. This keeps your main dashboard clean and focused on results, not settings. All right, let's go back to my slides, and I'll show you a few other features and talk about it. So next is, the RBAC enhancements. In TPM 10.0, we have significantly expanded role-based access control for TPM on-prem customers. We have introduced new built-in security roles for TPM, including a branch office administrator role. With these enhancements, you can provide scoped access to locations such as branch offices or testing labs, as well as provide read-only access for scenarios like security audits. For full RBAC capabilities for TPM SaaS or cloud customers, this will soon follow suit. They're currently on the product roadmap, and they are projected to be delivered during the first half of 2026. So before we wrap up, let's talk about the business side of this transformation. We are moving to a single SKU model. If you are a Tenable Patch SaaS or cloud customer, you will be automatically upgraded to this new UI on the January 22nd release date. The Express SKU is now end of sale, and you will seamlessly transition to the unified TPM SaaS SKU at your next renewal. For on-prem customers, you will remain on your current UI until you manually upgrade to version 10. While migration is mandatory at your next renewal, we are facilitating $0 exchange orders right now, so you can move to version 10 features immediately. Now, you may wonder, how does the upgrade to latest TPM 10.0 affect your current strategies, right? The good news is, your existing strategies are completely untouched on upgrade. To conclude this demo, I want to say TPM 10.0 is the result of hundreds, if not thousands, of conversations with our customers, partners, and prospects like you over the last couple years. We have automated the 80% so you can focus on the 20% that requires your expertise. It balances the magic of simplicity with deep, granular control. We have also consolidated our documentation into a single, unified, updated user guide so you don't have to check separate manuals anymore. I encourage you to log in, explore the new dashboard, and try a success transition in your next strategy. It's time to move from manual patching to simple, truly autonomous security. If you have any questions, please reach out to our team at Tenable or connect with me directly. Thank you for your partnership and have a great day.